16 years ago, the Gregory Park Learning Center opened doors to adults in and around the community. And today, we're honoring Shirley Whylie for her contribution to the Learning Center. And I've had the privilege of sitting and having conversations with persons who have shared with us how this all began. Let's sit back and listen as we first speak with the pastor and other members who were there from the start.
The Learning Center came out of this church, looking around, looking at ourselves and wondering how can we impact the community. We thought about it for some time. I think Sister Whylie led an effort on the streets to gain the views of the community as to what the church could do for them. And it seems the answer was overwhelmingly something like a learning center. However, the way I conceptualized it, some people did not see it in that way. Because persons thought that teachers would be paid. And when we said no, then the project was cancelled out before it began. So it took me about a year and something else to keep talking about it in the church and urging them that this is how we offer ourselves to the community. And over time, people got the vision and said, okay, yes. So people began to sign up, and Miss Whylie now became a driving force because she had been the first principal for the Portland Community College. So she had known how to establish institutions and so on. So she was so convinced about the whole thing, she took it and ran with it. And the truth is, I have not had anything to do with it since. I've never had to touch that project at all. She became mother, father, facilitator, driver of the project.
Okay. And you know, that covers a lot of the other questions I had, because I wanted to ask for you to describe Sister Whylie's contribution to the formation.
Well, I can say more. I can say 1,000 things. You know? No, I would say as a pastor, you long for people like that. The church has an idea and somebody takes it and is so professional, so sacrificial, so zealous that she got a team and ran with it. And I had the privilege to peek through this window very often and saw scenes like this. I would see members of this community who perhaps would say that we are a stoosh church, they don't identify with us, suddenly became daughters and sons of Miss Whylie and other teachers. So I'm peeping through the window and seeing them crowding around her, carrying her books, that, the other thing, you know. It was wonderful to see. It brought the community into the church. And I credit her and the inspiration she has offered to the other teachers to be like that. I mean, she loved the work. And she loved the students. And I believe because she loves God, she has been outstanding.
Wonderful. And I think that shows her passion.
Yes.
True passion.
No put on. No hypocrisy. She loved it.
Yes. I totally agree with that.
Yes.
And I would want to know, if she were here right now, what would you say to her?
I would say that your parents, Reverend and Mrs. Clarence Whylie, would be proud to see what their daughter has not only become, but what she has contributed. She grew up in a minister's home. And I don't think she would mind me saying this, that there came a time in her life when she turned her back on the faith. And I know it broke her parents' heart. But I think either her father or mother knew that she had come back to the faith. But she came back with an unrivaled energy and passion, not only for the Learning Center, but the music ministry. I would say, Sister Whylie, if you die tomorrow morning, you should die with a smile. That you have given your all to God and to this community. The church is grateful, happy for you, proud of you, that boast about it. And you should die satisfied. Well done.
That's wonderful. And I want to thank you very much, Reverend Carlene. So today we're having conversations about the Learning Center.
Yes.
And I'm sure when I say the Learning Center, a particular name comes to your mind, right?
Oh, yes.
And what name is that?
Many. Shirley Whylie stands out.
Okay, and I'm sure. So it's Conversations re Shirley Whylie.
Yes.
So my first question in our conversation today is, tell us about working with the Universal Access Fund and Sister Whylie during the establishment of the computer lab.
Okay. We started this learning center and we saw the need to get people in the community computer literate. So we sourced computers. People sent computers from abroad, people were changing out computers. So we collected them and we established a computer lab. Naturally, the old computers did not stand up very well. So after a while, the Universal Access Fund came in, and they assessed the situation, and they established a lab, and they put in brand new computers.
Okay. How many computers did they?
15.
15.
The truth is, they wanted to put in more computers, yes, but we didn't have this physical space. Yes, they wanted to put it on any wall they could find and so on, but because of how the multi-purpose of this building, yes, we could not do that, so we concentrated on the lab.
How has it been working with Sister Whylie during her time as the principal of the Learning Center?
Oh my goodness. I think Sister Whylie came to us as the principal with all her skills as a principal. Her last job was at the Portmore Community College. And I think she came here with all those skills. But the thing that stood out with Sister Whylie and the Learning Center, because remember, she's doing voluntary service, yes, she's not being paid. But Sister Whylie always says her service is God-centered. And she always remembered that. And every time anything would happen that would cause a little distress, she would say, I'm doing this for God. And I think that made a difference. I found Sister Whylie extremely knowledgeable. I found her approachable. I found her extremely helpful, especially because remember, we are dealing with adults who have not been to school for decades, yes, and they are scared, and they have their children, and they have many problems. And I found Sister Whylie would approach those students in such a way that she would tell them, bring your child with you. Yes. So the child would be sitting in the class with her mother, and you know children, even if they get a little disorderly and, boring and so on, give a little trouble, it was no problem. She would find a way to accommodate all those students. And that is what stood out in my mind, mostly about her, because I've never seen a school where you can just take your child as you like. Second thing was their dressing, because they come to the school and they just wore what they had. And we did not, Sister Whylie didn't make a rule that you must wear this and you must wear that. But some of the time when it gets to the extreme, she would take the student to one side and she would say, remember, men are coming here, you need to do so and so. And at one stage, I think she was even thinking about the church buying T-shirts for them. But I found her very passionate about the students. Another thing I found about Sister Whylie was her record keeping. It was just out of this world. She would just, at any given moment, Sister Whylie would have her fingertips on the records. And those are some of the qualities that I found about her, and her patience, and her help to students. And even you hear her barking, the school has begun, the classes have begun, I'm not taking any more students. And somebody turn up the next day, especially if he's a man. And here she said, bring me the men, come, fill up the form, register. And she has to find a class to put him in. I think she's extremely helpful. And I think this generation of people will be very grateful to somebody like her.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Othniel Blair, and I attended the Gregory Park Learning Center between 2018 and 2019. I remember the first time I met Miss Whylie, it was when I went to register for the class. And she had this smile on her face that, was so amazing, because that was what attracted me to her, that smile on her face. And I find her to be a very
passionate person. She was very passionate about the school and about the student. We were her first priority. And, we could see the passion that they had for all of us to learn. I am very grateful for the school and for the teachers that were there, because, believe me, these teachers were the most exceptional teachers that I've come across, in my years going to school. They weren't being paid, and they were extremely professional. And the school caters for everybody. Remedial classes for those who were beginning up to 6E classes. And I was very fortunate to pass my 2 subjects, and now I'm in second year at the University of Technology doing an associate degree in child and adolescent development. Thank you, Ms. Whylie. Thank you, Gregory Park Baptist Church Learning Institution.
My first encounter with Sister Whylie happened after worship service, during the time when the Learning Center would be doing its annual teacher recruitment. And she, as we know, Sister Whylie, she doesn't take no for an answer. So even though I refused initially, our next encounter happened, and before I know it, I was nodding, yes, English, level 2, Wednesdays, 5 to 7. And that was how I became a teacher in the Learning Center. No, she needed help also for administrative work. And there I was again. Okay, yes, Sister Whylie, I have nothing doing during the days, so coming and working in the office with you, doing administrative work, no problem. So 2 nods, she get out of me. After that, she came to me again and said, Sister Levy, I want you to become a part of the management team. I said, management team? Yes. So again, another yes, I'm part of the management team. After that, Sister Levy, can you do the secretarial work for the management team when we have meetings? Again, another yes. 4 yeses Sister Whylie got from me. And I tell you, because she does not take no for an answer, she's a go-getter. She's a person who persists. She's very dedicated to what she does, and oh my God, she gives it her all. Whatever she's doing, it is 100% effort from Sister Whylie. I thank her very much for the opportunity she gave me and also my daughter to teach in the Learning Center. And thank you so much, Sister Whylie, for the opportunity to become a part of the management team, a part of the Learning Center, and a part of all you envisioned the Learning Center to be. Thank you very much again, Sister Whylie, and may God continue to bless you as you use your God-given gift to serve others. Thank you.
What great stories we listened to as persons shared with us how it all began. And I'm here in the beautiful computer room which Sally spoke about. We're going to be talking now about some of the benefits that persons have reaped from the Learning Center. Some persons are still in Jamaica and some persons are overseas, and they have joined us today as we honor Sister Whylie. Let's listen as they speak.
Greetings everyone, my name is Anna K. Bennett, a past student of the Gregory Park Baptist Learning Center year 2017 to 18, and I just want to say the Learning Center has had a positive impact on my life, academically and spiritually, and I've also lifted my faith in God. I also want to say special thanks to Mrs. Whylie, who believe in woman empowerment, because I can remember when she said a child should not stop a woman from bettering themselves and to get a good education. And for that, I appreciate her lifting up all the mothers and other females and persons in general. Just want to say thank you guys again for your support. Bye.
Good morning to you, my name is Nurse Swaby, and I just want to give my 2 cents on how Miss Whylie has impacted my life. I remember I went to the Baptist Learning Center in 2014 where I met Miss Whylie. She was nice, receptive, and with a warm smile. She's always encouraging. sat in her HNS class and we were all introducing ourselves, and she looked at me and asked me, at what age did you leave school? And I said, I left school when I was in grade 9 and I went back. She was saying to me that I think for you to be successful, you must start at the second grade or the second level HNS class. And I said to her, Miss Whylie, I'm going to be your top student and I will be your best student in this class. And she looked at me and she said to me, that's what I like to hear. That's what I want to hear. And I was her best student and her top student in the class too. She always encourages. Sometimes she would give us a little synopsis of her life and what she went through and how we can use that to motivate ourselves. So if she can make it, we too can make it. And she was always there for us, always motivating, always being that mother, that friend, that person you needed. And so she helped me to see myself and lift me up from where I wanted. I always wanted to be a nurse when I was small, but growing up, somehow I forgot that having children and all of that, I totally lose that. But going to her class, she was like, I want everyone in here to become a medical student or a nurse. And that's what I did. I found back my drive. I found back my dream. And so I went on to get 5 subjects here. I got 3 ones. I got 1 in HNS, 1 in social study, 1 in principle of business. I got 2 in English, 3 in maths. And I went on to the Excelsior Community School of Nursing, where I done my BSN in nursing and got a bachelor degree. It is also a tail line of the UA nursing school. So it's because of her why I'm here. And I'm now here at the St. Jago Park Health Center. I've been here almost 3 years now. I'm a staff here and I'm looking forward to going back to school to do my post-basic nursing. And it's all because of her, the love and the motivation that she has shown and how much she has helped while I am here. So Ms. Shirley Whylie, I just want to say kudos to you and thank you for what you have done for me, and I know you have done for a lot of other students. So keep doing what you do. Enjoy your day. Love you.
Hello, my name is Kay Tracy, and today I would like to say a big congratulations to all the teachers at the Gregory Park Learning Center. Thank you for taking the time and efforts to give back to your community and impact the lives of many students like me and others in the community. One such teacher that is now upon retirement, Miss Shirley Whylie, or as I call her, or she frequently calls me now, her dragon lady. This is not a literal term, this is figuratively speaking, and the reason why is because she took me in as a 15-year-old who left high school with no CXC, and against her better judgment, she helped me and she stood by me as a mentor, as a friend, as a grandma, and everything else in between throughout my journey. And so that helped me to go from being the child that they said was going to be nothing to the woman I am today, the future doctoral candidate, or current doctoral candidate, might I add. Thank you, Miss Shirley Whylie. What can I say about Miss Shirley Whylie? Well, I could tell you the story, but you know, she tells it a whole lot better. So I'm just gonna leave that up to her to tell you. But overall, I could honestly say I've never met another person like Miss Shirley Whylie. You're a pillar of strength and a great support for the community, and just letting you know on behalf of all past, future, and present students, we would like to say thank you for all that you have done for us. And the only word I can think of at this point to describe you is that you're supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
My name is Michelle McKenna Deans. I am a past student of this noble institution. I came there knowing that I didn't know where we're gonna end up, but Sister Whylie and a lot of the angel teachers down there has helped me and motivate me to do wonders. And I remember when I started, I went to Sister Whylie to tell her that I am going to stop for a moment, like go away and come back. And she was very radical with her answer when she looked straight in my eyes and said, if you go away again, don't come back. And I looked at her and I realized that she see greatness. And at that time she saw the potential in me. And this is what happened. I was successful in my journey. And my journey entails outstanding performance at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. This is one. Second one, same thing. And third, another certificate showing my achievement. And I must say, thanks to God and all the members of Gregory Park Baptist Learning Center. I was also selected by my minister, our secretary informed me to do a document for Sir Patrick Allen, that is Jamaica Governor General. I was thrilled to knowing that where I'm coming from and where I'm at now. Thanks be to God and Sister Whylie and all of you guys there who have taught me. Thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your day, Sister Whylie. And I wish you all God blessing.
The lady behind the name, having reaped those benefits, it's important to know who is Shirley Whylie. Why did she do this? Why did she continue? And what's going to happen? Let's listen as they share about Sister Shirley Whylie.
Tell us about working with Sister Whylie during her time as a principal for the Learning Center.
Well, I found her to be very caring, concerned, Christian Caribbean person who looks out for the welfare of the less fortunate and really carrying out the purpose that we had in mind to give persons a second chance. Persons who are dropped out of school, persons who are not able to pay their way on to study again, but really concerned, and someone who will go the extra mile to assist in whatever way she could. I worked with her because she doesn't seem to like mediocre thing, but she doesn't push you around. She encourages you to find the best and be the best that you can be.
Wonderful. So if Sister Whylie was here right now, what would you want to say to her?
Well, I would say continue to give the assistance I know that you would give to the new principal. Continue to encourage young people. Continue to make your presence felt as best as you can, in a way not to intimidate but to encourage. And just to say, Sister Shirley, keep on doing what you're doing.
Sister Whylie, I want to borrow the words of this song today as I hail you, that what you do for Jesus Christ is not in vain. Scripture says in Matthew 25 and verse 40, whatever you do unto the least of these my brothers and sisters, you have done it unto me. And Sister Whylie, you have done so much for so many of us that if we were to talk about it all night, we would be here all night and all day into tomorrow. But I just want to use this opportunity to thank you and to just say to you, Sister Whylie, you are truly an inspiration. You have inspired me, you have encouraged me, and I'm sure others who are here this evening are saying the same thing, that you have inspired and you have encouraged them. Sister Whylie, over the years that I've known you, I've seen how you've worked really hard to make the lives of others better. And so what you are doing, or what you have done for us here at Gregory Park Baptist Church, you are also doing that for Jesus Christ. Certainly, the people of the Gregory Park Christian Pen and certainly the wider Portmore community have benefited from your efforts so much. You have given so many of them a second chance so that they can improve themselves. And I know that that's what you have dedicated your life in doing, improving the life of others. And so, Sister Whylie, I want you to enjoy this evening because it's all about you. It's all about your effort. And I only hope and pray that God will continue to empower you to do more for Him, so that so many more of us can benefit from your efforts. Truly an inspiration. And you will be rewarded in the end. What you do for Jesus Christ is not in vain. Thank you, Sister Shirley. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Colleen McIntosh Williams, a past student from the Gregory Park Learning Center. Ms. Whylie has been a tower of strength to us, and for that we are grateful. While we were there, sometimes it seems as if we just couldn't make it, but Ms. Whylie has pushed us and caused us to know that there is strength and there's much more in us than we thought we had. And for that, Mrs. Whylie, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for the knowledge you had imparted in us and to us. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Walk good, one love.
Good day, my name is Harold Buchanan. I teach Human and Social Bio at the Gregory Park Learning Center for the last 12 years. I met Sister Whylie, Shirley Whylie, when I came for my first interview, and I ran into this very sweet, very caring lady who was very charming and very happy to see me. But you see, by the next day, all of my references called to say, you have been completely and carefully checked and vetted. At this point, I realized that this was no joke center. They was very deadly serious, and it was the program was being very well managed. Sister Shirley cared for her teachers, and she always seemed to be able to attract some of the most talented and dedicated people to serve. I remember when I first started, she used to take that painful climb up the back stairs all the way to the third floor to check on my classes, to make sure that I was doing okay, settling in, and that my students were happy with their new teacher. To tell the truth, I was very nervous because I was teaching her subject. There was very little room for error. Sister Shirley's greatest weakness turns out to be her greatest asset. In that is how deeply she cared for the well-being of her students, their hopes, their aspirations, their personal circumstances, their struggles. This is the reason why the Gregory Park Learning Center's outreach program has been so effective and impactful to the community it serves. Right? And the team includes stalwarts such as Sister Sally, Sister Babsy, and of course Reverend Henlin. The previous MP was so impressed with the program that he actually discussed it in Parliament, enshrining the Learning Center and Ms. Shirley Whylie in Hansard for all times, a permanent record of this country. This is an honor that is not only fitting, but very richly deserved. Anyone who is as guilty as Sister Shirley of unswerving dedication, unselfish dedication to public service in this country should always be remembered, honored, and respected in this country.
As a member of the management committee of the Gregory Park Baptist Learning Center, I was privileged to share some very special moments with you this while. I discovered that as a servant of God, leader, administrator extraordinaire, confidant, and gem of the teaching profession, you always sought to inspire others to dream more, learn more, and become more. You epitomized excellence in everything and expected the same from the persons and team members with whom you work. Excellence in everything was your hallmark. And you would express disappointment if those expectations are unfulfilled. It was therefore no surprise when you announced at one of our meetings that someday this center would morph into a university much like those we have here in Jamaica. We all had a good laugh, but we knew that it could happen, as you would never settle for anything less. And I know as we speak that the thoughts of having this university is still at the forefront of your thoughts. Of course, we await that big reveal. The team learned from you very early that you viewed preparation as the key to success. As such, you treated every meeting as a production. Roles were assigned and updates were received, all conducted in an atmosphere of love and respect. You believed that at every point of view was important, and thus you provided a space for airing all of those. We appreciate that. We discovered also that you had a passion for winning souls for the kingdom of God. This was expressed without reservation. It is not surprising then that you consider the Learning Center a mission field, ready for harvesting. You never missed a moment to remind the team that the team is also a part of that expectation. We witnessed how elated you were when some persons from the center accepted Christ as Lord and Savior and became a part of the body of Christ at the Gregory Park Baptist Church. Miss Whylie, we learned the lessons you taught us. We did so very well. Your motives were clear. And now we fully understand why you went to that extreme.
to show you that it actually resonated with us, I want to share with you a quote from the 44th President of the United States of America, Barack Obama. And this will really, really show you that your work resonated with us. I quote, "In the fleeting time we have on the earth, what matters is not wealth, status, power, but rather what matters is how well we loved, what small part we played in making the lives of other people better." Miss Whylie, you are indeed a leader. May the grace of God, which surpasses all understanding, abide with you and continue to inspire you towards greater service in your sphere of influence. Blessings.
I'm sure you enjoyed listening to persons talk about the Learning Center. So, we spoke about how it all began, we spoke about the benefits, and we spoke about the lady behind the name, Shirley Whylie. But as in Jamaica we say, there's always two sides to a story. So, why not listen to Sister Whylie as she shares with us her views on how this all began, and also some of the success stories she has had. Let's listen to Shirley Whylie.
Hi, Sister Whylie.
Hello.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Wonderful. It's so good that I'm able to have a conversation with you today.
Yes, I'm glad to converse with you too.
Wonderful. And this is really about the Gregory Park Baptist Learning Center.
Sure.
And you have been at the center, the bottom, the start of it.
Yes.
And really
Start
wanted
at the
to find
start.
out the start, and you continued.
Mhm.
And today we just wanted to find out a little bit about how it got started. And my first question to you today is, how did you assess that there was such a need in the ministry for a learning center?
Well, it started off as a homework, an idea that we'd have a homework center here for children. So it started under the leadership of Deacon Leonard Thorpe, and the children came here after school, and there were people here to sit with them. But that's not what they wanted. They wanted extra lessons. But the people who were here were not competent to give extra lessons. I was at the time principal of the Gregory Park Baptist Learning Center, of the Portmore Community College. So that I was involved in creating programs for adult learners. So I suggested to the church that they switch it over to teaching adults, because I knew that there was an army of people in Jamaica who need further education. They don't have any qualification. They can't get a job because they, for some reasons, school failed them. I like to think of it like that, school failed them. So they decided, yes, that would be the project. And I wrote a number of project documents for the church and also for the Portmore Community College, because I thought we'd do it in partnership with the college. But it went to the board, but it just never, that wasn't God's plan, so it just didn't work out. And then where it really started is I went on a mission trip to Virginia. I didn't want to go. At the time, I used to walk with my stick.
Yes.
And I couldn't walk, and I didn't want to go. But they needed a musician. So I went, and I stayed with this lady called Alma, who was about my age. She was a white American, and the society in which we stayed was severely segregated, right? There was white and there was black. They had white restaurant and black restaurant. White burial ground for whites, different from blacks. But the church we went to wanted to integrate, so they brought these Jamaicans in to kind of raise the consciousness of the church. Right? Now, Alma, I found with that, she opened her house to us so that there was nowhere in our house we couldn't go. We could go in our cupboard and take out our food. We could cook what we wanted. We had the guest room, And it was Barbara Lewis and I, and we in fact, we would speak patois because that's what we would speak, and she would sit. She didn't understand, but she sat and she was a part of it. And I thought to myself, the reason why this thing is not working is because we are not opening up ourselves to the people around us, right? And we need to break those barriers and make sure that our church accepts all these people around us who are everywhere, who can't read, who don't dress up and go to church, right? Whose personal lives maybe not ones that the church would approve of, but those are the people we want. And so it acted as a kind of inspiration to me, and I went ahead with it.
Okay, wonderful, great. So when you started, what was the population like? How many teachers did you have and how many students?
Well, it started in September. September in our church is Mission Month.
Yes.
So it was Mission 2006.
Okay.
And we decided to go on a mission walk on a Sunday after church. And I created some little flyers. We're starting this thing called I don't know what we called it at the time. And I offered math, English, and IT. Because from being at the community college, I realized that those were the 3 subjects that the community wanted. I didn't have any computers. I had 3 teachers who I was talking to. One was Sister Edwards, and one was Sister Lywood, and myself. But we were only talking. They didn't commit themselves. But we gave out these flyers. I think I must have did like 100. The next morning, the church office was rammed with people, phone calls. So we had to go ahead. And I really went ahead in faith because there wasn't anything, right? There was no place, there was no desk, there was no chair, there was no computer, there were no teachers. So I invited them to a meeting in the church. All the people were interested. And I went up and I spoke, making it up as I go along about this learning center. And at the end of it, I had 4 teachers and 3 computers. Because the people who came, I remember Deacon Ruthlin gave me a second-hand computer in her house. And some of the teachers who had come because they wanted to do IT, they volunteered to teach. So we started, I think, with 4 teachers. And I don't remember how many students, maybe about 25. But then we had continuous take-in, so we were taking in almost every day, right? We didn't have an application form. We had no systems in place. We just took them as they came. It was chaotic.
When you look at, when you just started to where we are now, how many teachers do we have and how many students?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask the new principal, Miss Dyke. I think we have about 25. We have 7 teachers? 27 teachers. And how many students? 183 teachers.
So
183 students.
183 students. So we're moving from starting with 25
yes.
to 183.
But we've had peaks, we have had times in the history where we have had 600 students and 50 odd teachers. The reason why we have dropped down is because of COVID, yes. So we hope that with COVID gone, that the school will flourish again, right?
Wonderful. And I think, though, with COVID going, we'll definitely have the increase in numbers.
Yes, we will. We will.
Teachers and students. And, the question I really wanted to ask, because you're so passionate about the Learning Center, is could you share with me one of those success stories about the Learning Center, education, and, even reaching out to others in the faith?
I remember a lady who again couldn't read. I have a special heart for those who can't read, because reading opens up your educational doors. If you can read, you can get access to anything. She, in her home, the fact that she couldn't read, they would laugh at her, and she had, I think, her self-esteem. So she came to the Learning Center. She learned to read. Not only did she learn to read, she got an award for reading, both for attendance and for excellence. So she framed the award, right, and put it at the entrance of her house. In fact, her husband and her separated, she wanted that when he opened the door, he could see that not only could she read, but that she had an award for reading, because that was so important to her.
I am Trisha Smith, and it was a pleasure sharing with you today as we honor Shirley Whylie. The memories were great, the conversations were wonderful. Stay tuned as the Learning Center continues.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're supercalifragilistic.
Thank you very much again, Sister Whylie.
Enjoy your day.
We're proud of you.